Now, talking more about intention here, let's set our aim by talking about your company's kingdom assignment. Did you know your business has a kingdom assignment? Right? Your business and what you do is not your identity. Those are two separate things. Right? A lot of times those can get so enmeshed. Right? They can, and we start identifying, saying, I am this, and we list out all the things that we do. But that's not your identity. You are separate from your business. You were a desire in God's heart before the foundation of the world. Your business was also a desire in God's heart, right? And it was his desire that you two come together and work together. So that's supposed to be like a web page in there, in the heart with the people, right? This business that you have is birthed out of your relationship with him, and your business is a unique expression of you and God together in the earth. And your business has its own assignment. So what could that be? There are three main categories. And yes, I know we hear these a lot in the entrepreneurial space. They're all over the place, but I really want to breathe new life into these words for you today and just give you a different perspective, go a little deeper on it. And then we're going to spend some time with Holy Spirit asking what your business assignment is to make sure that you're clear on that before we go into vision mapping. So, first of all, know that all businesses should be profitable, right? When we talk about there being a primary, it doesn't mean that you're not going to make money if your primary is influence or impact. I want to say that up front, right? So all businesses should be profitable. If you're not making money, you don't really have a business. So there are those with the primary purpose of wealth generation for furthering the kingdom. And this may throw a few of you for a loop here, but the leader of that business doesn't have to be a believer. There are so many businesses right now making billions and giving away millions, and the person running the company is not a believer. But God can still use that business to advance the kingdom. He can still funnel wealth through that business. So this purpose has a unique blueprint, right? Each one of these is going to have a unique blueprint. And this is a company, like I said, one of those larger companies that's making millions or more, and they're not able to give the money away fast enough. It's like a river just flowing through. There's a lot coming in and a lot going out. It's just constantly moving money through it, replenishing and multiplying. Okay. Influence can also be a primary purpose, and this is for those who have the ability to persuade those in their space. Right? So this is the people selling ice to Eskimos, right? We all know those people who are like, man, they're sellers, right? They know what they're doing, they're influencing. So think about the giftings of the evangelist, but put it in a marketplace context. Okay. We've got to break down this idea that there is some kind of secular sacred divide. There's not. It's in our mind. Jesus said it's finished. The veil is torn. There is no longer any kind of divide. Okay. So you are going to hear me talking about things like this evangelist in the marketplace, right? That's an influencer. That's not just a church term. So the positioning in the marketplace is highly important. Again, this company is going to be profitable, but it's just not going to generate as much as that one that has income as a primary. But what it will do instead is gain access to people and platforms and have the ability to speak into places that wouldn't otherwise be accessible. Okay, so if you're wondering, is this me? Maybe ask yourself, do I have favor in places that don't make sense? Are doors opening up to me that in the natural shouldn't be opening? Okay. And then the third primary could be impact, directly expanding the kingdom. So maybe this looks like employees coming to Christ, clients coming to Christ, or it could be a direct impact in a justice issue, right? This can be covert or overt. I'm going to give you some examples here of this because this one seems to trip people up a lot. I'm not sure why, but so if your assignment is, say, covert kingdom, and it's infiltrating an industry by changing its values. So I have a friend who works at UPS. Within just a few months, he started at the bottom, he was working in the warehouse. Within just a few months of working there, he had been promoted like 3 times. Right? Like, how does that happen? He was just honoring the people around him. Just being respectful, right? Sharing kingdom culture. He wasn't talking about Jesus. He was just showing up. Remember, Jesus is in you. Y'all are in union. You're one together. So when you show up, he shows up. It doesn't have to be the topic of conversation. When you are being who you are created to be, you're carrying kingdom, right? And so working at UPS, he shows up just being himself, just loving on people, honoring people, and he's promoted quickly up to manager. And then what happens? He continues, right? It's not like something shifts in his head and it's like, okay, now I'm in charge. No, like he has meetings when people come in, he wants to hear from everybody in the room, right? It's collaborative. He's bringing in kingdom culture. Okay. Another example of this is there's an organization in, I want to say Detroit, but that may not be correct. Anyway, they have a music program and they go into the inner city and teach the gang kids how to rap. Right? They're changing culture. They recognize, hey, we're not going to change anything by inviting these kids to come to church. They're not coming. Right? Not going to happen. So what do? Well, what do the kids want to do? They want to learn how to rap, make rap music. Okay, let's do that. Right? Create something that they want to show up for, and they come. You meet them where they're at, you get them off the street. It gives them a hope and a future outside of a gang, right? It's teaching them life skills, how to treat other people with honor and respect, how to have your voice heard without being violent, right? Instilling confidence in these kids that there's more for them than this, calling out their true identity. It's really awesome stuff. So I just want to open your eyes to other ways that kingdom is having impact without being overtly like, hey, we're going to go out and preach Jesus in the streets. I just want to give you some different ideas of what it could look like for your business. Right. And I also want to speak to, there's this thing I'm seeing happening online right now where people are almost shaming other people if they don't talk about their faith, if their faith isn't like front and center of their business. Maybe God hasn't called them to that. So I just want to expand, just let your mind be opened to some different things. All right. So here's the great news. Regardless of assignment, you get all three. Right? As you align with the primary purpose and assignment of your business, the other two become byproducts. But what happens is, and what I found out the hard way, is if you're operating out of alignment, you won't be as effective. The first 2 years I was in the online space, I was like, I am such a failure. I was breaking even, just breaking even. Not even that every month, right? And I was like, I'm not going to make it. I was honestly thinking about quitting because I'm looking at the coach I'm working with and I'm like, where is the disconnect? Right? I have followed her instructions exactly. And I would have a little bit of success and then hit a wall. And then a little bit more and then hit a wall. Just breaking even. So I got done with her. Got done with her program, got into another program. Same thing happened. I follow the instructions exactly. I have a little bit of success and then it stops. Right. And the cycle was continuing. And I'm like, Lord, what is the problem? Why isn't it working? Right. I'm disappointed. I'm frustrated. I'm just crying out, Lord, what is it? It's got to be me, right? Because it's working for her, so it must be me. I did not know I was out of alignment. Nobody told me that your business can have different assignments. I didn't know, right? I was following someone else's blueprint for their business, not mine, right? The primary goal of Heaven to Earth LLC, my company, is impact, but I didn't know that. And I was trying to use a blueprint for revenue generation. Now, in God's grace, right? He knew my heart. He knew what I wanted the money for. So he blessed a little, right? He allowed me to have some revenue, some success, but it wasn't sustainable. So I hope this is bringing some freedom to people today. You have to know the unique heavenly strategy for your specific business.